The Artisse 2.0 is the latest intrasaccular device in the similar category as the Web. But here's something interesting that you might not already know. The official Artisse sizing chart is primarily designed for elongated aneurysms that are taller than wide. However, most of the aneurysms encountered in day-to-day practice are standard wide-necked aneurysms that are not covered by the sizing chart. Therefore, we'll need to rely on specialized software such as Siemens Size to determine the correct sizing in these cases. In today's video, we're going to discuss how to manually select the correct Artisse size for aneurysms that don't fit within the official sizing chart recommendations. Using a real-world case from our institution, we'll walk you through our strategy and the decision-making process. The patient arrived at our hospital with an acute subarachnoid hemorrhage due to a ruptured ACOM aneurysm. After performing a 3D rotational angiography, we measured the aneurysm and found it to have an average width of 5 mm and average height of 4.5 mm, with a cylindrical and nearly square-shaped configuration. Let's take a look at the sizing chart. The blue column on the left-hand side represents the aneurysm's diameter. If we choose the 4.9 mm group, the corresponding height options in the white column range from 5.9 to 7.6 mm, which would be significantly oversized for our aneurysm. This height requirement means that the official sizing chart will not provide the answer we need for this case, and we will have to find another way to determine the accurate device size. Since the aneurysm has a cylindrical shape, we applied the proposed +1-0 rule. The increased height helps extend the device's sidewall to the aneurysm neck, minimizing the risk of dog ear formation. The key feature of this strategy is to match the device height to the aneurysms while maintaining sufficient lateral compression. Instead of reducing the height by 1 mm, we will select an Artisse with similar height to the aneurysms to make up for its shorter sidewall. Ideally, we'd use a 4.5 mm tall device, but since Artisse only comes in ½ mm width increments, we choose a 4 mm height instead to avoid oversizing. To compensate, we increased the width from 6 to 6.5 mm. In the end, a 6.5 by 4 Artisse was successfully deployed through a rebar 18 microcatheter into the aneurysm. Now, some of you may be wondering, can't we simply apply the classic +1-1 rule, commonly used in web deployment? If we deploy a 6.5 by 3 Artisse, the center of the device, which is the tallest segment, would sit nicely in the aneurysm sac, but the shorter sidewalls would not reach the neck level. More importantly, trying to fix this by further increasing the device's width actually makes things worse. For example, a 7.5 by 3 mm Artisse, equivalent to +2-1, will only result in significant vertical elongation of the dome and base of the device, causing even more dog ear formation and base protrusion. That's why we prioritize preserving the Artisse device's natural height over aggressive lateral compression, specifically in cylindrical aneurysms. There is one vital message when applying the +1-0 approach. Since we increase the device height to match the aneurysm, the Artisse's proximal marker will sit a bit lower in the parent vessel. So it's important to keep a close watch here and make sure it doesn't encroach too much on the side branches. To learn more about the height-preserving sizing strategy for cylindrical shape aneurysms, check out our detailed guide with the link on the screen or in the description below. At 6-month follow-up, the MRA shows complete occlusion of the treated aneurysm. While we are still waiting for a catheter angiogram to confirm the result, the MRI findings are consistent with what we would normally see in aneurysm fully treated with web embolization. The preliminary results of the +1-0 sizing approach shows promise. However, these findings are based on early experiences with only a limited number of cases. Therefore, this method should be considered an interim sizing strategy until further clinical data becomes available.